The number one morning insulin trick to lose fat faster. Now, the most important thing you'll do for your fat loss today will be before you eat a single bite of food. Now, most people sleep right through it. So here is exactly what nobody is telling you. In the 2 hours before you've even opened your eyes in the morning, your body's already running on a process that's decided one of two things: whether you spend today burning fat or whether you're gonna spend it storing it. And by the time you sit down for breakfast, that process is already finished. Now, for most people, it's finished the wrong way. So essentially, your insulin spikes every single morning before you eat anything. Not because of food, but because of what your hormones were doing during sleep. If you're carrying belly fat that will not shift no matter how clean you're eating, this might be the reason. And almost nobody has told you how to fix it. And today, I'm going to give you 3 specific tricks that work directly on that morning process. There's a window every morning where your body is primed to burn fat. And what you do inside controls your insulin for the next 12 hours. And I call this your morning insulin window. Now, trick 1 takes less than 15 minutes, and most people have never heard of this trick. But I'm gonna be honest with you up front. Trick 3 is the one that I personally use every single day. It's one of the strongest that's backed with science, so stick around for that. My name is Dr. Michael Diamonds. I'm a medical doctor, scientist with degrees in biochemistry and microbiology, pro-natural bodybuilder, and the founder of Sculpt by Science, where me and my team of medical doctors work with clients every single day on this exact thing. So things move fast in this video, so let's dive straight in. Now, before the 3 tricks, let me show you what's actually happening in your body every morning. And once you see it, the 3 tricks will make sense and you'll understand exactly why timing matters so much, more than almost anything else. Here's a quick reframe first, because the thing is, I wish someone explained to me the way I'm about to explain it to you in medical school. I want you to think of your body like a library. Carbohydrates are the books, insulin is the librarian, and when the book comes in, the librarian shelves them neatly, no problem. But when too many books are coming in at once, the librarian panics and starts shoving them under the carpet to clear the desk. And that carpet is your fat storage. Now, insulin, your librarian, is not the villain here. The problem is insulin spiking over and over again all day long. And that is what locks your body in fat storage mode. Now, here's the part about your mornings. Every day, somewhere between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., your body releases a wave of cortisol and growth hormone. That is completely normal. It's your body getting ready to wake up. But the hormone wave does something most people have never heard about. It tells your liver to push glucose into your bloodstream before you've eaten anything all day. Now picture your body preloading fuel into your engine before you've even turned on the key. So if your insulin is working well, your body handles that glucose quietly and everything stays balanced. But if you have a degree of insulin resistance, that same morning glucose push triggers a much bigger insulin response, and your insulin stays elevated for hours. Fat burning mode essentially is switched off before the day has even started. Doctors call this thing the dawn phenomenon. Do not assume that this is the only problem for older or unhealthy people. There's actually a large analysis of US National Data Health, and it found that 4 in 10 adults between 18 and 44 already show signs of insulin resistance, and most of them have no idea. This is young, otherwise healthy people. Everything in this video is built to work directly on that dawn phenomenon before it can set the tone of your whole day. So most people think exercise is just exercise. The research says that the timing changes everything, and the morning is the single best time to use it. And there's actually scientists at the University of Bath in Birmingham, and they ran a 6-week study, and they took 10 men carrying extra weight and split them into 2 groups. Both groups did the exact same exercise, the exact same intensity, and the same duration. Now, the only difference was one group trained before breakfast and the other one trained after. The group that exercised before breakfast burned double the fat. Same workout, same effort, same length. The only thing that changed was whether they had a meal or not. I'm going to be straight with you. That particular study was done in men, so the exact numbers may look a little different for the ladies, but the mechanism underneath it is universal. And it is worth understanding. So why this works: when you wake up after sleeping all night, your insulin is at its lowest point it will reach all day. No food has come in, so there's no insulin sitting there acting as a fat storage switch. The moment your muscle starts moving, they go straight to your stored fat for fuel. So think of your body as having 2 fuel tanks. One holds the food you just ate, and the other one holds your stored fat. First thing in the morning after an overnight fast, the food tank is empty, so your body body has no choice but to open up that stored fat tank. But the second you eat breakfast, before moving, insulin rises. That food tank fills back up and your muscles burn that instead of the fat that you actually wanted to lose. And this is the second thing that's happening at the same time. This is what ties back to the dawn phenomenon I was talking about. When your muscles contract during a walk, they pull glucose straight out of your bloodstream without needing insulin to do it. So that morning glucose push from your liver, the one that was about to spike your insulin, essentially gets soaked up by your muscles before insulin even has the chance to rise. You are burning stored fat and blunting that morning insulin spike in the same 15 minutes. And here is the part that nobody expects: light. This is the bit that surprises a lot of people, so don't skip it. The walk is good. The walk outside in the morning is on another level entirely. When daylight hits your eyes in the morning, it resets your body's internal 24-hour clock. And that clock is what times and sequences every hormone in your body, including insulin. Now, when the clock is set correctly, your cortisol does its natural morning decline, your insulin sensitivity stays high through the morning, where it's supposed to be. Essentially, your librarian is working really hard, and your sleep hormone gets scheduled to release at the right time at night. Now, when you skip the light and you stay indoors under dim artificial lighting, that clock drifts. Cortisol stays elevated longer than it should. And elevated cortisol means your insulin is elevated, which means your fat storage switch stays on. So a fasted walk done outside in natural light is doing three things at once. And I'm also going to share what to do for people who live in cold, rainy, cloudy countries, like in the UK, for example. Burning fat from your stores, clearing the morning glucose from your body, and resetting the body clock that controls your insulin for the rest of the day. That's 3 wins. 15 minutes, no gym equipment needed. So this is what I want you to do. Within 30 minutes of waking, before you eat or drink anything except water, go outside and walk for 10 to 15 minutes. Have your shoes at your door, have the fit that you want to wear right before you go out, and get outside first thing while you still have crust in your eyes. Now, let's say if you live in a cold or rainy country, or it's raining today, get a walking pad, get a standing desk, and put a sun lamp on the desk and walk on that. And walk at a comfortable pace, one where you can still hold a conversation. I just need movement in your body. No sunglasses, because the light actually needs to reach your eyes. You don't need to look directly into the sun. And don't worry about cloudy days. The light outside, even in overcast, is still brighter than what you're getting indoors. If this is already shifting how you think about your mornings, leave the video the gentle thumbs up. And honestly, I don't see anyone else explaining it like this. And that tells me, Dr. Mike, make more. Now, you may be saying, this sounds great, and I can already hear some of you, but I leave the house at 5 a.m. or I have kids that get out the door and I'm replying to emails before I've even brushed my teeth. When exactly am I fitting this sun walk? And I hear you. So this is the honest truth. Most morning routine advice is built for people who have an entire calm hour to optimize themselves. It's not the case for most of you guys watching. So you don't need to be perfect. You just need the 10-minute version that survives a more chaotic morning. So walk while your coffee is brewing. Walk the kids to the car the long way. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to happen. And right back to the window. Trick 2. Let me be clear on what this isn't. This isn't skipping breakfast forever. This is not aggressive fasting. This is one simple fact. Your body handles carbohydrates far better at some times of the day than others. Picture your body's insulin sensitivity like a fresh set of brakes on a car. In the morning, those brakes are sharp and they're responsive. And as the day goes, they'll wear down. By the late evening, they're barely gripping. So in the morning is when your metabolic brakes work the best. And the worst thing you can do is never let the car come to a full stop. So here's the key. Insulin physically cannot drop to the floor if you're eating from the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep. Your body needs a stretch every day with no food coming in. So insulin can fall all the way down. And when your insulin is finally on the floor, that's when fat burning is essentially happening and your body goes to work on that stored fat. Now, the sweet spot is 12 to 14 hours overnight. So let's say, for example, you finish eating at 8 p.m. and your first meal is somewhere between 8 and 10 a.m. the next morning. You have essentially given your body a complete daily reset on insulin. And I'm not saying starve yourself. You're simply timing things so insulin gets the reset that it needs. So this is what I want you to do. Stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. Then eat your first meal 12 to 14 hours after your last one. Now, if you want to do the 16-8 fast, like I recommend, fantastic. But I'm more so recommending start with progressive fasting. As I mentioned, do the 12-12, right? 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Then do 14-10, maybe 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and then go to 16-8. Start there. And then pay attention to your energy. Pay attention to your hunger before you even think about stretching it for longer. And it's not a competition of how long you fast. It's about giving the window a clean, consistent close every night. And this is a quick one. If you're already doing some version of this, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to know how long you've stuck with it. Is it working for you? I read every single comment, and especially for the ones from people who are already doing the work. And I know I learn a lot from those, and the people reading the comments will learn from it. So share it with me in the comments down below. And this is the one, the next step that I use every day. And it's the one with the strongest science backing. When you finally break that overnight fast, the very first thing you eat sets your insulin response for the next 4 to 6 hours. And most people are getting this completely wrong. You're eating a bowl of cereal, you're having toast, orange juice, a pastry. These are almost pure carbs that you're eating. And carbohydrates eaten on its own with no protein or fat alongside it causes the single biggest insulin spike of your day right at the moment your body was primed to burn fat. But eat protein first and something completely different happens. Protein does this. It will trigger your GLP-1 hormone. GLP-1 slows how fast food leaves your stomach, and it tells your pancreas to release insulin gradually instead all at once. And here's one part that could stop you cold. GLP is the exact hormone that drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy are built to mimic. Those are weight loss injections that everyone's talking about, and it's costing thousands per month. And you can get your own body's natural version of it just by eating protein first. No injection, no prescription, no cost. It's free. Free. And it goes further. A high protein meal first creates what researchers call the second meal effect. Essentially, your insulin response at lunch 4 to 6 hours after is also lower just because you started your day with protein instead of carbs. One good meal quietly sets up the next one. That is the difference between a body that burns and a body that stores fat. Now, where's the proof? There's actual research paper from Cornell Medical University, and they tested this directly. They took the same meal and had two groups of people eat them in different orders on 2 different days. When protein and vegetables were eaten before carbohydrates, the post-meal glucose came in dramatically lower, around 29% lower at 30 minutes and 37% lower at the hour mark, with insulin significantly lower too. Same food, same portions, just a different order. Now, this was an early study in a small group, so treat the exact percentages more as a guide rather than as a guarantee. But the direction is clear, and it costs you nothing to apply it. So what to do? Make sure that you eat protein first in your first meal. For example, 3 to 4 eggs, Greek yogurt, salmon, cottage cheese, and I recommend aiming for 30 to 50 grams of protein every meal. Eat the protein before anything else on your plate. And if having a breakfast with carbohydrates, please eat those last. And there's also one more thing. I want you to eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Now, this is the caveat. Make sure that you're a healthy individual, that you don't have any liver or kidney conditions, and if you do, speak to your doctor before raising your protein. So here's one thing I've been meaning to do. I have been considering wearing like a continuous glucose monitor for 2 weeks and film exactly what happens to my blood sugar with and without these morning tricks. I want to track all real data. And if you want to see that video, comment down below, Dr. Mike, wear the CGM, the continuous glucose monitor. And if enough of you ask, I'm going to make that video. A quick note for a person watching this: if you're 35 and you're older, you run a business, or you are in a senior role in the company and you've already tried the diets, you've tried the apps, the fasting, you've been disciplined and nothing's working, this part's for you. And everyone else, no worries, just stay with me here for a little bit. Here's something I want you guys over 35 to understand. The real reason those things aren't working isn't you. Essentially, for males past 35, your testosterone tanks and it doesn't reverse on its own. And for women, your estrogen declines dramatically and these things start working against you. And if you wait another month, it's not going to change. it will only become hard. So there is your morning window. Those are the 3 tricks: the fasted morning walk, outside with light, before breakfast, burning stored fat, and resetting the clock that runs your insulin, a 12 to 14 hour overnight window so your insulin gets a full reset every single day, and make sure that you're eating protein the first thing you eat to keep your insulin at bay and to keep it calm to reset the rest of your day. And just see how your body responds to food. None of this is dramatic. This is timing. Work with your body in the morning instead of it. And if you want a bigger picture, the fastest way to actually lose fat, I've already made a video about that. It's on the screen now, so I highly recommend you watch that next. And I'll see you there. Cheers. And keep putting one foot in front of the other, especially when you don't feel like it.